How far would you go for a child who is quite literally the biggest piece of shit to ever exist? Not this far, I gotta say.
I won't let anything happen to you.
What'd you do? I took care of it. All of it.
Yes, it is another film where Julianne Moore plays a sad, lonely, middle-aged lesbian, which I feel like is all of her roles in the last 20 years. And it's also another role where Sydney Sweeney is in Euphoria, she seems to think, yeah. And it's just this pairing that you never knew or really still know that you want, just bitching at each other constantly for the whole 15 minutes Sydney Sweeney's on screen. Echovalley is about Kate, who, depending on your outlook, is the best or worst mother of all time. Her daughter Claire, who literally has been wasting on drugs for years, gives off constantly to her, turns up at her door, asks for money and then leaves, literally threatens to murder her dog and beats the shit out of her just because she won't give her money, and then finally turns up at her door covered in blood, asking her to help her deal with the murder she has committed. And she just says, "Hey, oh, no problem, sweetie. Come in, have a cup of tea. I'll hide that body for you." What the fuck? I mean, this is a whole series of Jerry Springer in one film. So Sydney Sweeney plays the second most frustrating character possibly in cinema history in this, because she's got this addiction that she's just been stuck with for years, and even suddenly murdering someone doesn't help her break out of that cycle at all. Nothing. She changes nothing after it. Whereas Julianne Moore manages to possibly play the only character more frustrating than that, because she just keeps dealing with her bullshit, helps her hide a body, gets stuck in this thing that she really doesn't want to be stuck in, and basically has bankrupted herself trying to give her as much money as she can. It is horrifying. And she says to one of her friends at one point, "Oh, I keep thinking that my life must be too boring for it to be this messed up." And I keep screaming at her, "Just dump your daughter off a cliff and you'll be fine." Like, seriously. It's worse than any case of a character continually making dumb mistakes in a horror movie that I've ever seen, which is nuts. Few things about this. It isn't the old lady lesbian horse riding community film that I am now desperate to see after this. Sydney Sweeney is vicious in this role, once again surprises me with her capabilities, and I've got to say, the scene in the first act where she kind of does go absolutely full mental on Julianne Moore is probably one of the most devastating, hard to watch, best cases of kind of dealing with drug addiction and those kind of people that I've ever seen. That was intense. It was nuts. Also, Domhnall Gleeson, I'm kind of angry that he keeps getting cast in these villainous American accented roles when he should be doing more of those about time kind of Hugh Grant, like, well, yes, bumbling British lead roles. Like, it's devastating to me. I really want to see him in more of those. I think he should be Doctor Who. Anyway, he was very good in this, though. And it's a film where, well, I feel kind of lied to, because Sydney Sweeney is in front of Julianne Moore on the poster. Bullshit. She's in maybe 15 minutes of this film. So little. Honestly, so little. Great in the scene she's in. Very impressive. Very frustrating character to watch. But barely in it. And Kyle MacLachlan as well, who I saw on the cast list as quite high up. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like him too. Nope, one scene. If you are looking for actors in this film, it's Julianne Moore, Fiona Shaw, quite heavily actually, and Domhnall Gleeson are the three that are in it the most, by far. This was Julianne Moore's film through and through. She ate in this. She is incredible. I remain stunned by the sheer force of the number of films in which she plays a lesbian. It's crazy. Many more than any gay person has ever played. I also think, as a thriller, it moves quickly. It doesn't feel slow at any point for me. I really enjoyed it. I thought the plot was a bit crazy at times, and I was getting just so frustrated with the characters at one point that the plot wasn't doing enough to keep me, like, I was just feeling, like, angry in general, I feel like. But it does come through very surprisingly strong in the third act, and that's where it kind of just one of these kind of mystery thrillery type films that's got a lot of twists and turns to it. I feel like if it manages to land on its feet in the third act, then you're going to forgive it for all manner of ills, and that's basically what's happened here. It's not great, but it's solid enough that when it kind of lands on its feet near the end, you go, shit, okay, and you're kind of clapping for it anyway, even though it's not that fantastic. I also find it wonderfully ironic that Sydney Sweeney just started selling her bathwater right before releasing a film where she plays this role, where she looks so ready to do anything for money. It's the kind of film that really makes you suddenly realize, yeah, unconditional love, maybe not that good a thing all the time. And that is a bold statement, but my goodness, children, scary things. Anyway, I'm giving the best ad for condoms I've ever seen 3 stars. I was wondering at one point how Sydney Sweeney seems to have so many films coming out this year. It's because she's really not in this one that much. If there's another couple like this, then I'm going to start thinking that they really are just using her face as branding and they don't want her in the films that much, because she was on front of the poster in this film. Like 15 minutes around, like, that's it.